All right, blessings. Let's go ahead and reading of the Word. It's from John chapter 12, verse 38 through 41. Here we go. This is to fulfill the word of Isaiah the prophet. Lord, who has believed our message? Actually, I'm not saying it right. Lord, who has believed our message? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For this reason they could not believe, because, as Isaiah says elsewhere, in verse 40, He has blinded their eyes and deadened their hearts, so they can neither see with their eyes, nor understand with their hearts, nor turn, and I would heal them. And that right there is a direct quote from Isaiah 6, verse 10. Isaiah said this because he saw Yahushua, Jesus' glory, and spoke about him. Thanks and praises to the One Most High. That was Isaiah 53, verse 1, and also Isaiah 6, verse 10. And that was from the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verse 38 through 41. Thanks and praises to the One Most High, His Imperial Majesty, Yeshua, Yahshua, Yahushua, Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah, conquering Lion of Judah, conquering Lion of Zion.